Hello, welcome to today's Esoteric Collective reading. I hope you all are having a lovely day today. I say lovely because one, I want you to have a great day, but also, today's reading, we're going to do a little love reading for you. I say little because I'm going to try to keep this short. Under 10 minutes is the goal. We're doing some short collective readings this weekend, but we're going to go ahead and get right into it with the Tell Me You Love Me Oracle deck. You can find any and all the decks used in the description below as well. So let's talk about a love reading for the collective. Okay, we got one card. The number 24 could be significant. Also just 2 and 4. Alright. And then we also have 38. So, for this deck, I don't want you to be scared about these cards, but we're gonna go ahead and read straight from the book, but I'm gonna pull one more card. Two wanted to come out, so I'm gonna go ahead and get one last one. Interesting. Okay. And I will adjust those to make sure you can see all of those on frame. If you see my hair in the shot, I hope you enjoy my hair color. If you don't see my hair in the shot, if you're wondering, I have blue hair right now. Anyways. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and read straight from the book. I do feel this energy, though, that this energy of like dodging a bullet, this idea that you may be looking towards somebody who actually isn't necessarily meant for you because there's somebody else that is meant for you later on down the line. So we're going to start by reading number 24. Solitude without love is punishment. There are times when it feels good to be alone, but only when you know that someone you want Somehow you want for nothing. The message here is a comforting and reassuring one for you. You are being told that the solitude you are experiencing is also an invitation to reconnect with yourself. It is not a form of punishment or a sign that the only medicine for your pain will come from someone else. That's wrong. So stop punishing yourself by looking for obvious reasons for the situation. No, just don't. Your soul needs these times of emptiness, these crossings of the desert or dark nights, to extract the reality of the love it feels for itself and perceive that it can be self-sufficient. Constantly remind yourself that this solitude is not meant to cause you pain, but to make you react and grow within yourself for the greater happiness. And as I'm going to the number 38 card, the idea though that we learn a lot about ourselves when we go through solitude. Both the idea of like when you're bored, you tend to be the most creative, but also when you're going through a hermit phase, which could be very relevant to your life right now. This energy of you learn a lot about who you are and what you want, and sometimes that literally means learning from the past experiences that you had, because during these times of solitude you're able to reflect on those past experiences in a way where you can take your time. Almost I'm thinking of like an onion, and how like you're peeling back the layers of each of the sides of that experiences that may have caused you pain or may have just been in the past that you now can have a refreshed perspective on, because of the solitude is giving you the time and the space to be able to do so. We're going to go ahead and read number 38. Evil has no nuances, only consequences. This is the darkest card of the Oracle, and it comes to warn you that an intruder is trying to get into or back into your sheep pen. Someone who is evidently looking to create a bond with you, but someone who will not be positive for you. It would only benefit them. Be strategic and vigilant and keep away anyone who, from far or near, is circling around your home or your partner. Place yourself intelligently between the interloper and the person you're targeting to block them, but do it as discreetly as possible. The more you play it smart, the more you will divert the intruder's self-serving plans and dark ideas. You will have all the intuition you need to unmask that person very quickly and scare them off. This could be something to do with, as I was talking about, that the previous pain. You could find that some of these people may want to come back into your life, but because you're in this era, I almost just said, interesting, okay, you're in this, I was trying to say era and area came to mind, but you're in this era where you can reflect on how the past has hurt you and affected you and caused you a lot of emotions, frankly. You might have laughed at that as well. I don't know why I laughed at that, but interesting. You could be somebody who copes with pain through laughter, which is a very common thing, especially in today's world. The idea of like, I'm thinking of like a stand-up comic who takes their trauma and makes it into jokes to kind of like cope with it, right? This could be a time for you to kind of take down the walls, the onion layers of the humor, and let yourself feel, so that way if/when this person decides they want to try to approach you again, you can feel exactly how, whether or not it's correct for you or not. Chances are probably not if you're feeling like it's not. I want to go ahead and go into 40, because I feel like this is like the current, like what you're going through, what you're thinking about right now, and then what's coming up is the 25 and the 16. So we're going to go do the 40. It takes a nut to recognize one. Goodness, it's a challenge to keep your ideas in place along with the normal energy that should go with it. This is a time of tumultuous communication, which can range from simple troubles to mad, paranoid hysteria. Nothing is so complicated that it can't be dealt with. Doctors and therapists can help you through difficult times. If it's a recurrent problem, you should solve it by any means through therapy, medication, or family and friends support for the sake of your family, especially if there are children. If it's a first major crisis, ask yourself a single important question. Are you willing to go through this again? Some unhealthy behavior may lead to irreversible acts. Take care of yourself and those around you who cannot defend themselves. If you're the one who overreacts, get treatment and help. If you want to reconnect with love in your home, it is up to you alone to do what it takes to repair the damage. I think the single important question in this thing, the are you willing to go through that again, feels very relevant to this reading. This idea of if there's somebody who wants to approach again, because you're going through this hermit mode of being able to fully dissect almost, or thinking of like dissecting a frog in biology class, like literally going through it, dissecting how this person caused you pain, how the dynamic was probably not healthy for you. Because you're going through that, you're able to ask yourself after you've gone through the emotional, almost like journaling about what the journey was like. You're able to ask yourself, are you willing to go through this again? Chances are, probably not, but in order to have that answer for yourself, going in that hermit mode is very, very important, right? And I think that because you're going through this hermit mode, you're able to come to a conclusion that you're worth more, you're worth better. And in that, we have these two cards, 16 and 25. I'm going to start with 25. At the heart of your being, you can find all the love in the universe. Spiritually, philosophically, and culturally, the most beautiful philosophies state that all the love and greatness in the world is contained within your being. All the visible and invisible possibilities of your soul peacefully reside and wait for you there. Trust, faith, and lovely intentions of positive thinking are the only keys that will give you access to this divine space. You will unknowingly receive tips and rewards in an almost magical way, feeling that the heavens are helping you more than usual, and you will be correct. Through your recognition, gratitude, gentle thoughts, and positive actions, the universe is mirroring your image back to you. Believe more and more, and without doubting your intimate power of attraction, and the universe will show you where and how you can harvest your best rewards. The idea specifically of, at the beginning there, all of the love and greatness in the world is contained within your being. I've been recently going over in my own journal entries this idea of the love that I have for the area around me, for my cat, for my friends, for my work, is because That's the love that's inside me that I experience. And yes, these people, my cat and my work, they may also bring love to my table. They may also bring that loving energy back to me. But I'm able to appreciate the flowers. I'm able to appreciate the stars. I'm able to appreciate my cat who can't talk back to me, right? Because there is love within. And that love within is the true power. I was talking to a friend about this recently, where it's the love can come from others, but you won't truly appreciate it unless you recognize that the love coming from others is merely a reflection of the love that you have within. For others, for yourself, for your environment, the love you have within in general, right? So we're going to go end it off with number 16. A little bit past 10 minutes, but I think that's okay. I want to emphasize that when going through this discussion with yourself, taking more time than you think it's going to take is okay. Let's say it one more time. Taking more time with this, with going through the emotions and the logicals and the chaos of healing, it's okay if it takes more time than you think it's going to, right? Because chances are, the longer you spend with yourself, obviously within moderation, don't spiral. If you feel like you're spiraling, take some time to ground yourself, right? But the more time you allow yourself, don't feel like you have to restrict yourself, you're able to be more free within your experiencing those emotions, experiencing that healing journey of going through your past, taking it for what you can learn from it so you can move forward into this 16 energy, which 16 in the major arcana is the Tower event. So this could be like a very monumental moment for you of reclaiming the love you have for yourself, therefore the respect you have for yourself, therefore the trust you have in yourself. Emphasis on trust. For the last card, the message here is crystal clear. To be yourself, live free as a bird. You need to establish and assert your freedom of being and acting in all circumstances. Your relationship with yourself may be upset by jealousy, and whether it stems from you or your partner, you need to find ways or neutral ground to talk and see how to move beyond the crisis. To find your way back to balance, trust in your relationship. You will need to be patient and take a lot upon yourself. If you can't, never forget that freedom is priceless and time can never be recovered for you or your partner. If you no longer feel the strength to take things on the chin and feel worn out by everything, you've at least tried to make it better. Whatever you do, don't feel guilty for wanting to break the chains. I said change, and chains was the actual word I was supposed to say. So don't be afraid of change is definitely a big theme here. Don't feel guilty for wanting to break the chains and take flight. It's perfectly normal to not let yourself die from a lack of freedom. Also, I want to go ahead and do a little quick, not disclaimer, but a little bit of a 2 cents. In this deck, they have it if you're single or in a left triangle section. And normally I don't read that, but for this case, it feels like it could be relevant. So in case you are currently single, this is the section for you. Take back your freedom. All of it, and stop spending your time on others before you spend it on yourself. You need to set boundaries with regard to some requests others are making of you. Someone close to you is consuming your energy to fill their own emotional and solitary voids, which means that if you stay at that person's feet, no matter how loving they are towards you, they will continue to take up so much room that you will never be free to truly meet someone. The energy of maintaining, allowing space for good to come in usually comes from removing the bad, right? This energy that you have to be open to good, but you can't be open to good if you're suffocated by bad. Which are very simple terms to put it in, but you know your story best. So I'm going to end it off with a little positive advice card from the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. That theme of believing in yourself and trusting yourself and loving yourself seems very relevant in this reading. So we're going to end it off with one of these. Once again, if you're interested in any of the cards or decks used, you can find them listed in the description below. This is my favorite card in the entire deck. Okay, I'm really glad we got this one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not kidding, it's my favorite card in the entire deck. Also, the number 16 coming up again. This is the number 16, twice in the same reading. I'm gonna move this here. Bitch fire. Stand up for yourself. I'm gonna adjust the camera so you can see that more clearly, so I apologize for any shakiness. But this idea, though, of stand up for yourself is very, very relevant, especially if you have people of the past who want to cause you more pain or trying to come back in. So I'm going to find the page real quick. Alright. Bitch fire. Stand up for yourself. There is no better way to say it. Someone in your life is trying to burn you at the stake. Maybe you didn't give them something they wanted, or you didn't let them get away with their bad behavior. Either way, they're trying to ruin your reputation. Rest assured, your reputation will stay intact. Silence can be effective, but this is not that kind of situation. Get loud and let them have a taste of your bitch fire. I should note that this deck is themed around the idea of princesses, witches, and mermaids, so this being one of the cards for the witch category, that's why they use the thing burned at the stake. If you're interested in those themes, I'd recommend checking out the deck. It's quite pretty, as you can see. And I want to end this off with kind of what I was saying earlier, where if you're opening up this space, clearing out any of the negative, you're opening yourself up to more positive, especially when you're clearing out the negative and choosing to affirm to yourself that you are worthy of the positive, right? And with this card being people holding a flame, it's this idea that as you clear out any of the, what's a good metaphor for this? Any of the CO2, we'll say. As you clear out any of the CO2 and you let that oxygen flow in, it lets the flame that could happen with a new person that you may or may not have met yet before, a good person, to ignite the flame together, right? The word ignite could be significant as well. I have a t-shirt that says that, so that's why I say that. But still, this energy of stand up for yourself because you are worthy of being stood up for. And if anybody can trust you, it's you. If anybody can love you, it's you. If anybody can respect you, it's you. And part of this is choosing to let yourself feel that love, choosing to let yourself feel that respect, choosing to trust yourself and let go of the fear of trusting yourself, which might seem like a really easy thing to say. Be like, yeah, of course I trust myself. No. Take a second. Breathe. Think about it. And not just think about it. Feel about it. Feel how you feel when it comes to making a decision. Do you feel anxiety that you're going to make the wrong decision? That's fear and trusting yourself to make the correct decision. By trusting yourself, you learn how to make better decisions for you. And by making better decisions for yourself, you learn how to trust yourself to make future decisions. It's a fun cycle you can get into, especially if you're choosing to clear out any negative fear, any negative doubt, any negative hate-based thinking, and letting it be refilled with affirmations of love, trust, and respect for yourself, your community, and frankly, the earth and the area you are in, right? That's all for today's reading. A little bit longer, but that's okay, because once again, do not rush yourself during this process, just like I did not rush myself during this reading. But still, though, I hope you have a lovely day today. If you're still here, feel free to check out my linktree in my YouTube description and YouTube bio to help donate money to Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Yemen, and Haiti, as well as many, many more. Quick note, the color green could be significant. I would suggest if you're struggling to get into a mindset of letting yourself feel, I would say go outside and experience some greenery, some bushes, some trees, maybe go to a park. And while we're here, if you happen to be an immigrant in the USA, I hope you have a lovely, safe day today. I hope you get the chance to go to a park and meditate around some greenery. I feel like that could be very relevant and very helpful for you. But regardless of your immigration status, please have a lovely, beautiful, safe day, and I'll catch you guys next time.